My goodness. Thank you very much. If I could, I'd like to say thank you to Janet and Jason for so swimmingly steering us through the festivities tonight, because I don't know who else would say thank you. And also to Bruce Wygo and Meg and the other team at the International Hall of Fame who've done such a great job bringing people from all over the world here tonight. Thank you very much. I am very honored by the award. I will treasure it. As Sid Cassidy and Cynthia Potter said yesterday, the words at the Paragon Awards, humbling, and it fits. I don't really feel like I belong in a swimming Hall of Fame alongside the likes of Sandy Buca, who was honored earlier, John Kinsella, Tom Crema, George Goff, and all the other great swimmers here tonight. But on the other hand, I am very happy to be recognized, to be part of that team. To go back in time a little bit, what a team it was. It was an amazing privilege to be part of that team. And it's just great to have this reunion of that team, small reunion, in the middle of a giant reunion tonight together, along with so many other swimming greats, such as the 64 Olympians, meeting Tom Reed, who swam the English Channel 33 times, and John, who swam it 3 times in a row, amazing. For those of you on the 64 Olympic team, as an 8-year-old, I was glued to a black and white set to watch Dawn Frazier, Donna Di Verona, and so many other greats. I remember it. Seems like yesterday. Time goes by very fast. I often look back and think how fortunate I was to enroll at a school called Hinsdale Central High School, which was west of Chicago. I came there from Mississippi. I'd been an AAU swimmer down there. I'd won a few trophies, but it was a somewhat small pool there. And up in Illinois at Hinsdale, I was suddenly a very small fish in a very big pool. But it's only a matter of speaking, because in fact the pool at Hinsdale was the same as any pool. It had 6 lanes, it had 6 lines painted on the bottom. It had diving boards and places for spectators to watch, just like any pool across America, or indeed anywhere in the world. Yet that Hinsdale team trained in that pool won 12 state titles in a row between 1967 and 1968. John became an Olympic gold medalist. Sandy became a legendary swimmer who courageously broke the Title IX barrier and paved the way for so many other young women swimmers to follow. Many of the teammates went on to win all kinds of accolades and awards. So I have thought about, so why was that? What was it about swimming? Or what was it that we learned? Or what was it that made extraordinary things happen in that very ordinary swimming pool? And what did I learn personally? And Bruce, permit me a few lessons. The first thing I learned was about endurance. And the one thing I remember our coach, Don Watson, saying that nothing great was ever accomplished without enthusiasm, but also endurance. The truth of that became very apparent to me later in life when I had to deal with a few difficult scrapes in Russia and here in the Gulf of Mexico region in 2010, of course. And I'm glad that I learned that lesson young in life. Endurance is what enables you to reach your potential. Lots of people have ability, but endurance is the capacity to keep going, keep training, keep pushing for that extra edge. You may have heard a book called The Outliers by someone named Malcolm Gladwell. His theory is that people who achieve things, like everyone actually in this room, they need a spark of talent, of course, but then they put in tens of thousands of hours of practice before they can become really good at what they do. So Bill Gates spent tens of thousands of hours programming before he created Windows. Or the Beatles spent tens of thousands of hours practicing before they got famous, and so on. And that's what swimming is like. It is the old-fashioned way to put it, is that achievements are 1% inspiration and about 99% perspiration. Today's generation might prefer to say it, that it's not our abilities that show who we truly are. It is about our choices. And the second thing I learned in the pool at Hinsdale Central was teamwork. We competed individually, but we learned to operate as a team. We knew each other well, and we encouraged each other. We joined the lifeguards, we coached and taught young children to swim, and we socialized. There was a great sense of camaraderie, and that sense stays with you. It is what you look for later in life. It's what you look to recreate. It's what you look to build in your own teams. And finally, I learned about leadership. We were fortunate to have the most amazing coach, Don Watson. I learned from Don that success is about keeping going, keeping on practicing, putting in more hours and more lengths than the competition. But actually the bigger question is why? Why did we put in those hours? Why did we endure all the hard work? And I think there were three things. We wanted to win. Don wanted us to win. We wanted to win for our relays. And we wanted to win for our coach. And I think it's that last point that is the clincher. That's what leadership is about. It's often not what you do, but what you enable others to do. Don is on record saying his coaching style was not to inspire fear, but to establish a program. And of course, it became the Hinsdale program. And we all saw the sense in that program. We respected his experience. There was no ego, there was no arrogance, just deep expertise, quiet confidence. Don was a consistent guy, and we trusted him. Now, since that time, Don, I've been called upon to lead teams in all kinds of places. As a team leader in the UK, in the North Sea, in China. I've led businesses elsewhere in Asia and Russia. I led the response to the spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. And for the last 4 years, I've had the privilege to lead BP. And every time I've had to try to follow what my swimming coach's school of leadership was, which was establish a program or a strategy, one that people can understand, ask them for their commitment, and try to create a team spirit. And what you find is that people will bring their talent and their commitment, often more than you ever expected. They will work as a team and amazing things get done. So to paraphrase and twist a little bit the phrase of a president of my youth, I think these awards aren't just about some people, what they've done in swimming. They're also about what swimming has done for many people. 2 years ago, we had the privilege in BP of sponsoring events of the athletes in the London 2012 Olympics and Paralympic Games, including the U.S. Olympic team. Many of them told the same story, and it was the story of how sport had transformed their lives. And just one more second, Bruce. One was a woman named Jessica Innes-Hill. She's a British athlete who won a gold medal in the women's heptathlon. She's about to have her first child, had to step out of the Commonwealth Games. She said it's only temporary. But she came by the office to thank us for supporting her and spoke to our employees. And someone asked her if she'd want her child to follow in her footsteps. She said she would never push her kid into athletics, but she would definitely encourage any child to get involved in some kind of sport. She said sport had simply changed her life. It had given her confidence, helped her meet people, and enabled her to fulfill her potential. And that is what so many people have found. It was certainly true for me. Sports help you in ways that go far beyond the sport itself. So Bruce and the entire team at the Hall of Fame, I am honored to receive the award. I would like to say a big thank you to my favorite wife of 34 years, Mary. And my favorite kids, Laura and Chase. And my favorite sister, Sue, who's here tonight. Mary and our kids have moved countless times around the world with adventurous enthusiasm, and it has been a great part of our life. But the honor, I think, really belongs to Don Watson, the Hinsdale team, and the entire sport of aquatics and swimming. So thank you very much, Bruce.